Hello, today it's my another talking video, and today again we compare Korea and Europe and some different aspects I would wanna talk about. So let's get started. The first I wanna talk is about food. So if you're hungry, I'm so sorry, please eat something. Korean and European, if we take in general food, super different. Obviously, like if we take in general Asian and European, it's different, not traditions, but how you used to eat. That many European countries eat a lot of bread with everything, and Asian countries eat rice with everything. So what I would say about Korean food, in general, I would say I like Korean food and I was enjoying it because it's also like I was eating outside every day, so I was not cooking. So most of the times, if it's not like a burger, pizza, I was eating Korean food and I liked it. At some point I can say that, yeah, like in the end I was a little bit tired of Korean food, but I think it's just normal because you're just used to a really different type of food, and now you're eating everyday Korean food and you want your home food and everything, so it's normal. But in general, I would say I like Korean food and I enjoy it. But what can I say? If you eat outside, most of the Korean dishes are not healthy. So if you're for healthy lifestyle and everything, going out to eat every day in Korea is kind of not good, I would say. But it is tasty. But yeah, Koreans have a lot of fried food, a lot of oily food, and which makes it really unhealthy. They do not have a lot of vegetables and fruits because it's also expensive in Korea to buy in shops vegetables and fruits, and even in the dishes, yeah, they eat a lot of kimchi and that's how they get vitamins and like fermented vegetables. But it's not like what I, for example, am used to, and as I saw, many Europeans are not used to, because we eat a lot of vegetables and fruits, and there it's like just not that common. In Korea they have a lot of soups, a lot of liquid, and I was not used to that because when I live alone here in Sweden, I cook, but I don't have a lot of time to cook, or it's kind of hard to cook for one person. And to cook a soup, it's like a rare thing, and usually when I go back to Latvia, I eat soups because my mom made it. But I don't eat it that often, and I'm not a soup fan, to be honest, in general. And there, I would say like a few times per week for sure, I was eating something soupy. And it was super weird for me, but it was good. I got used to it. It was good. But before going back home, I was like, no soups, please. Even though when I came, I still ate soups because it's still different type of soup, and it's different dishes and everything. Yeah, they do eat a lot of rice, as I feel like every Asian country. It's just part of their culture with most of the dishes. And for me, kind of the culture shock was to eat rice with noodles. But at some point, some people eat in Europe like pasta with bread, which is also not healthy, but it's like just how we're used to, and it's the same there, like noodles with rice. But it was just weird for me because noodles and rice are like two type of dishes which should be eaten separately, but it was nice. And then talking about spices, so I would say, yeah, that Korean food is quite spicy. I can say that I got used to spices. I am not a fan of spices. Like, I can eat spicy food, but I am not a fan. I don't use any spicy spices in my food when I cook, because I don't see the purpose, because I don't know, it's just not my thing. But there, because you go out, you eat out, I start like getting into spices, and I trust me, like in 4 months there, I got used to spices. So once I ate bulldog, the most spicy bulldog with the whole package of sauce. I was crying, but I ate it. don't ask me why. So there was few moments during this exchange then there I ate some like crazy spicy food and I was surviving. But in general, I got more used to it, and it's like usually like average spice. You can eat it, you feel the spices, but it's like not that bad. If you're like totally cannot handle any spices, that will be hard for you to be there, but you can find something. But even like I don't know, I feel like everywhere. Like here in Europe, we add salt everywhere, I would say. There they add spices, like spices, how do you say that, but you know what I mean, I hope. So it's just different for this. And for Koreans, a lot of food in Europe are too salty and they don't like it, so you know, that's the differences kind of. But now when I'm in Europe, sometimes I actually miss Korean food, and especially I miss convenience stores and going there and buying some snack or ramen or something to just eat, like to do it fast, to eat it fast and everything. And I just miss the taste, also miss the spices. Actually, I still don't cook with spices. I don't have spicy food, but when I go out somewhere or when like I know I'm cooking with someone else and they add spices, and I'm eating them, I like it always gives me a flashback to Korea, really. And I'm like eating, I'm like I miss spices, but I still don't add them to my food because I'm fine without it. But it was nice. And also Koreans love meat. If you're vegetarian, that will be super complicated. If you're a vegan, I don't think you can go out to eat in Korea. If it's like, probably if it's European place, then yeah, but Koreans love meat and it's almost in every dish. And at some point also I was kind of tired of it because meat and rice is super heavy and you eat it every day and you feel like, I don't know, you feel that it's heavy. And I'm like, I like meat, but I can live even like without it for like quite some time, so it's okay. But eating it every day was like too much, or like almost every day. And it's actually at some point I wanted to have some time at some point I wanted to fast, but it was almost impossible because it's actually everywhere you go, mostly it's like it's really hard to find dish without meat or like without like some vegetarian dish. But in general, I like Korean food. I'm just like, obviously I was born with a different type of food and everything, and I'm used to this, so it's just totally different. I could not say I can live and eat Korean food like 24/7 for all my life, no. And I would totally, like, if I would go back and live in Korea, I would cook by myself and then sometimes go out to eat Korean food. But I still liked it. I would say my top dishes, Korean dishes, were like jeon. It's different type of like, but I think I like it because it's similar to one dish we have. It's called like potato pancakes. And jeon is like similar to this. It can be with fish, with vegetables and different, and it's like also fried, also super oily, but it's tasty. And then of course, if you eat meat, I suggest you to try Korean barbecue in Korea. Oh my god, it's actually like, I was not expecting it to be that good because it's just like grilled meat kinda, and we also do that but in a different way. And I'm like, it's nothing special. But oh my god, like every time we were going to Korean barbecue, first it's just an experience of how it's happening. And especially like maybe if you go for the first time, you never did it, it's nice then that the waitress or the person who works there does the grilling, or how do you call it, the barbecue, by himself. But if you have already experienced, you can do it by yourself also in most of the restaurants. And it's also a vibe, and all the side dishes, again, the small side dishes and everything. And you take like a salad or paella, put there meat, which you already like cooked, and then some sauce, some vegetable, something, and you wrap it, and then you eat it, and it's like just the whole experience. And the meat is like super tasty, like actually really tasty. I'm not a fan of the pork, and it's not my type, but most of the people take pork. but the beef was also like, it's super good. Like, I miss it. Like, it's a really good meat and really good cooked, and I miss Korean barbecue. And if you go there and you eat meat, then you should try it. And yeah, then mentioning also like the whole restaurant experience in Europe, most of the places, if it's a restaurant, you go there, you sit down, the waitress comes to you, you look at the menu, choose the dish, like, you know, like the regular thing. And then in Korea, it's more like they, like, you sit down, it's just different. It's not that fancy as in most of the Europe. And you also have side dishes in every restaurant where you go, like, there are somewhere outside of the like main tables, and you go there by yourself and you put kimchi or like some cabbage or something fermented. Then you can take water there. Then sometimes you can take a small soup there. And then you also order the dish, and then it comes, and of course you eat everything with chopsticks, no forks and knives, which I like actually. I like eating with chopsticks. And then usually for Europeans, we usually like the waitress comes to you and you pay, and then you leave. And in Korea you go like almost outside, like, and in Korea you finish the meal and you stand up from your table and you go like you're already like dressed up, and then in the total, like in the whole end, you pay and then you leave like near the counter, or I don't know how to say that. So the experience is totally different. Yeah, like you can find fancy restaurants in Korea too, but I feel like it's mostly European restaurants, or if it's Korean, like it's also, these restaurants are much pricey than the regular Korean places. And about prices, I would say the Korean food, if you go to the restaurant, you pay around from 3 to 7 euro average. I would say, let's say 5 euro. I'm saying euros because that's easier for me. And in Europe, depends where you live, but Sweden, Latvia, you pay like 15 euro, 10 euro. I mean, maybe you can find in Sweden sometimes even like 25 for a restaurant. Like, really depends, but yeah, Korean, I would say average 5 euro per meal. So 5 and 15, quite a big difference. That's why we were also eating outside, because it's affordable. Korea is not the cheapest Asian country, of course, but I would say it's still cheaper than most of the Europe. I don't think if you can have any prices like this kind in Europe, maybe somewhere, but... And also I need to mention, of course, street food. It's in whole Asia like this, but the street food and the markets, it's also a vibe. We don't really have that. Like, we have markets where you can buy groceries, kind of, fruits, meat and everything, but it's not like you actually eat outside in this street food. And it might look sketchy if you come for the first time and look at this vibe, but I mean, most of the markets are fine and you can eat. And some few times we ate like the best food and the best dish on this markets rather than in the restaurant. You need to try, and it's like really nice to try a little bit of everything, especially if you're in the group and you can share it. Oh, also if you're in Korea, you should try hotteok. That's my favorite sweet thing, and if it's with seeds and with honey, that's perfect. To be honest, we tried a lot of hotteok. It's also unhealthy, but that's what I said. But unfortunately, few times when we bought hotteok, it wasn't good, and I thought like if it would be my first time trying hotteok and it would be this, it would be kind of disappointing. So maybe you should try a few times in different places, preferably not in the really touristic places, but somewhere in a random place on the street. But if you're going to Aju University, into Suwon, there is a hotteok place near Aju University, like 10-15 minutes from there, where it's like, I feel like only one hotteok place around uni, and it's the best hotteok. Okay, one of the best hotteoks there, and you should try it. It's really good, I can suggest. So I think that was kind of it about the food. Can totally suggest like you should try Asian food. If you really cannot handle spices, that's kind of tough, but if you can even a little, then totally go for it. And yeah, I miss, now when I'm talking, I miss Korean food and ramyeon and everything I talked about.